U of T Silver is playing today in the NECC tournament against SNHU Sapphire. So your casters for today will be me, Endertricity, and my co-caster here is Chris. So,
Oh, is it?
are we live?
Is it the NECC screen right now?
Okay, so anyway, we are going to be your casters today, and actually, before we introduce the teams and get into the game, we have a really cool announcement that we'd like to make.
Yeah, so NECC just announced that UFT Esports won the Esports Club of the Month award, and this is due to, of course, UFT's high success in their achievements in NECC events such as #1 in Open Plus, and also considering UFT's community involvement. So there are numerous events in their Discord server, such as pickup games, game nights with the community, and as well as LAN events for the Toronto community. So huge props to the UFT Overwatch team and for winning this award.
Okay, that being said, let's head into the teams. So first, I'd like to introduce our team. So that will be U of T Silver. And our lineup for today is going to be Muga on tank, Zenith and Emil on DPS, the Invader and Roast Chicken on support.
And this is going to be a really interesting matchup because SNHU are actually currently undefeated, I believe. There are 9 map wins and only down to 3 map losses, whereas UFT kind of have a reverse situation. 3 map wins and 6 map losses. However, UFT did have to forfeit one of their matches, unfortunately. So you could say the score could have been a lot closer.
That's definitely correct. So then also onto SNHU's team. They are going to have Console Noob on tank, Pepto and Osiren on DPS, and then One Trick and Viso on supports. Okay, teams have been introduced, and it seems like the teams are ready to play. So let's try to head into the game. And so this is going to be a best of 5 match, and it looks like they've chosen Ilios as the first map here.
So Ilios is a really interesting pick. Seems to be favoring multiple comps actually, depending on the map choice. I'm not actually sure what UFT is gonna run here, and I'm not really sure what SNHU wants to run. I know UFT has a particular hero pool, and they try to play to their strengths. So I'm really interested to see what they pick here.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to we're going to play Ilios Lighthouse is going to be the first round of this match. And the thing is about this map is that you've got that small point right in the center. So brawl compositions are going to be very popular as compared to maybe the Well or the Ruins, that are a lot more open maps. So I definitely expect to see some close quarters combat coming up.
Yeah, and immediately we see the brawl comps being picked from both teams actually. However, the healer comps seem to have some variance, but I highly think that Roast Chicken will swap over to the Lucio. And there we have it. The Invader is actually known for his Mora. His Mora is actually quite the favorite pick from him, and he gets a lot of work done with it, so we'll see. But he does end up going to the BAP.
Okay, both teams with the Reinhardt, the Cassidy, the Lucio, the Baptiste. Osiren, I assume, is only going to be... Oh no, I thought that the Symmetra was just for getting out of spine, but it looks like we are going to play that for this round. Okay. SNHU gets the first control of the point, and UFT standing up on this high ground, Emil taking pot shots down into the enemy team. Both Cassidys have already been traded, and now it's UFT trying to make their way onto this point. The point just unlocked, and SNHU is really in control of his territory right now, and they do capture the point first. Luca is falling very low, he is forced to retreat, and now SNHU is building up the percentage here on this point. Symmetric turret set up, and UFT needs to find a way to enter this point. However, that's a great start. Emil finds Petco, the enemy capacity is down, and it's a 4v5 now. Iso trades back. The invader is dead, so that's a lot less healing on the Forge. Well, Iso has managed to find this high ground and take down several members of UFT, and that's a one fight for SNHU. Wow, what a play.
That was just a positional advantage there. SNHU knowing the strength of their comp, getting the early position onto the point, having the symmetric set up turrets, solidifying their position. Just pretty much won them the fight based on positioning alone, and that could get a nice off angle with the window, dominating it.
Yeah, that was a great play. So Symmetra ultimately used a little bit early here, trying to force back before the fight even started, but that's a good, nice Earth Shatter by Luca. However, it doesn't manage to get a kill, and it's SNHU cleaning up the rest of the kills in this fight, and that's a team kill.
SNHU trying to go very aggressive there, and it's paying off. As you can see, the Symmetra ball just completely blocked out Luca's Shatter. And they followed up that fight with the beat, and the fight was pretty much done. However, we're coming up on the ultimate rotations for UFT. We're going to have Overwatch and
So they're just poking a little bit now, trying to build up this nano boost as well. It'll help them move forward in this fight. Takes out the Symmetra turrets, and now it's the high and new capacity on the high ground. Who can shoot first? Oh, it's a Mexican standoff a little bit. Everyone standing, hiding behind the point. Luca definitely goes in, tries to find something onto the point to clear up some space, but it's Emil finding the kill on the high ground, manages to get the Baptiste even through his own window. So now Pepto still on this high ground. Him and Lucio are the only ones left on this point. However, on the other side is the same thing can be said for Roast Chicken. He's the only one left, and the Ana here is not going to be able to make it back to the point. That's a nice body block, and the first round goes the way of SNHU.
Super well played by SNHU. UFT did have their moments though, especially with Emil taking very aggressive positions, taking the 1v1s, sometimes paying off in the early parts of the round, but in the end, SNHU just had more resources, more positioning advantages, mechanics, and just close that one out. But anything can happen with the second one, as we see UFT going over to a dive comp actually.
Yeah, so like we said before, this map on Ilios Ruins is going to be a lot more open. It's not that enclosed space on the point, so UFT is going to be moving away from that wall and trying to see if this Winston composition will make a difference. 100-0 in that first round. They've really got to step it up this time, or this map is already over.
And they can really turn things around. Emil on the Widow, really feeling himself. He could turn the tide of this whole round.
Okay, so now UFT, Winston has already jumped into the back and trying to find the back line, but Lucio on SNHU decided to go forward, trying to find that Widowmaker in the back line and completely take her out of this fight. Now it's SNHU using the advantage of that ball composition, trying to push back the front line of UFT. Luca decides to jump onto the point, but he's out of position, and he's caught by the Reinhardt pin, and the first capture goes over to SNHU.
UFT can't take that head-on engagement. SNHU's comp will win that for sure. They need to take off angles. Zenith needs to take flanks. They need to get a Zen off angle as well, because you see, SNHU wants to operate a unit, but UFTs want to separate and trying to blast on them from all sides, and they need to be doing that right now in order to win.
Yeah, this support composition from UFT is actually, I think it's really greedy, because Zenyatta and Ana, they've got some very offensive capabilities with their abilities, and that'll really help them when they're trying to get kills. They've already found one trick, and the other support is falling quite low. Emil going to be standing here in main, trying to find another pick. In Zenith, on the point, he's got the Mei very low, but unfortunately he falls to Viso, who's got another very clutch amplification matrix. He might have turned this fight right back.
UFT getting the early pick. Beautiful pick by Zenith on Viso, but they couldn't quite capitalize on it. They couldn't touch SNHU's backline, and Viso just pops the window and they just kill everyone.
Now UFT already 60% down on this point. They've got to find something that works here. Muga on the high ground, but he's chunked so low already that needs some healing before he can get back into this fight. And they're going to walk into a high noon. The Dragon Blade used, he can try to find Viso, but it's the Lucio trying to keep him away from his fellow support. That's some great teamwork right there. And Pepto, meanwhile, has found one kill with the high noon, another one on Zenith, and they're pushing them back again.
So well played by SNHU, defending UFT's Nanoblade. And UFT was banking on that Nanoblade. That's the primary win condition. You need to get value out of the Nanoblade if you're running Genji and Ana. That's your main thing. Unfortunately, they don't get enough value on that. It looks like it's going to be another 100-0.
Yeah. SNHU Sapphire taking the first round without even dropping a single %.
Yeah, they played that really well, but anything can happen. I still believe in UFT. They've shown their potential. Getting picks, getting good ults, their DPS making great individual plays. And of course, here's the beautiful Ryan Shatter by Console Noob.
Great stuff.
A bit of
So
spawn
now,
camping going on towards the end of the game there.
Yeah. If you're new to the stream, so is this replay system. So thank you very much to our production guy, Acrylic, for setting this up. And we are very grateful to have such an experienced member of the team here to show us what happened. Okay. So now as we go into the second map, we're not sure what they chose yet, but what do you think that UFT needs to do to start this going into the other direction?
First, UFT definitely needs to keep their mental up. 2 100-0s can be quite challenging on any player's mental, but as long as they play to their strengths, their comps, recognize their winning conditions, just keeping up the energy, they can turn this around.
Okay. So one thing that U of T is doing right now is they are actually going to be making a switch. So Emil has swapped out for Ziffelheimex, who will be subbing in for this next upcoming round.
So this is interesting because Ziffel, if you don't know already, is a Junkrat one trick, and he's actually quite good on Junkrat. So we'll see if Toronto tries to run some sort of brawl with Junkrat, or maybe they would just run dive again, but just splash in the Junkrat. I'm super interested to see what UFT decide here.
Okay, and we're going to go into King's Row, and I think this is a good pick by U of T because, as you said, the Junkrat, such enclosed spaces, such as on that second point and even parts of the first, can really find a lot of value if you know what to do with them. I remember when I was trying out for U of T Silver last year, this guy made my life as a main tank absolutely impossible.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've been on during my time on TMU's Overwatch team, we did scrim UFT Silver quite a number of times, and I just remember my whole team complaining and complaining about Ziffel and how he would literally just one shot basically half of our team. Amazing, yeah. Amazing plays by this man.
Great stuff. Truly a skill issue. But I guess that's why I'm casting now. Anyway.
Same here.
Anyway, so we are, yeah. So as you were saying, this is a best of 5. We're here in the NECC group stages here. U of T, they were forced to forfeit their last game, so they are down, but they did win one of the 2 that they played, so we know that they have some potential. SNHU, like you said, topping the group right now, so it will be an uphill battle as we saw in that first map.
It's definitely going to be an uphill battle, but it's a winnable uphill battle. UFT, despite being towards the low end of their groups, that's not a clear sign of their total strength. As you guys may know, in the previous semester in the fall, they did place first in their division, so the Open Plus division, and that's not to be underestimated. They're a very strong team. However, they do have a new roster. Muga is on tank now. as opposed to in the fall, they had another player, NRS. And Ziffel is back on the roster. I think it's not a replacement, but he was just added on as well. Emil, the previous DPS in the fall, is still playing. Zenith is still playing. But now they have that option of splashing in Junkrat. I don't even know what else Ziffel plays, but mainly Junkrat. They have that flexibility now. There's so much to work with. They still have a chance. And here, we're going to the game right now.
All right, Kings Row loading up.
Yep, there's the Junkrat right away.
There we go. We saw both of these teams run brawl compositions on that first round of Ilios Lighthouse. I suspect that we will probably see it again.
For sure. This is definitely a brawl-heavy map, especially on the streets phase. I don't recall seeing a not brawl map, not a brawl comp for quite some time. It's even in Overwatch 1, it's always been brawl on for Kings Row.
Yeah, it certainly is a fan favorite. Ryan Zarya duos went crazy. Unfortunately, that's no longer a thing. So.
Unfortunately, now tanks are lonely.
It's so sad. It's so sad what they did to our poor guys.
Anyway, it really is.
There's 100 health supposed to make up for that. Anyway.
Anyway, we do have Muga starting on the Sigma, actually. So they're looking to play a poke comp, making use of Discord, the poke capabilities of Hanzo and Junkrat.
Yeah, so we saw back on Tuesday, Gettysburg College tried to run a Sigma poke composition on attack on Kings Row, but they kept getting disrupted by Aspect's Doomfist. We're going to have to see if U of T is going to fall for the same thing that they were once on the giving end of. They're already taking so much space on this point. However, the Maywall comes in and the charge, and Muga's already found. That's such a quick collapse onto them from SNHU Sapphire. However, a couple kills are going the other way. Roast Chicken and Zenith Ziffel has found 2 already, and it's the May that's left. She falls too. And even without their tank, so much damage from this composition, the Junkrat and the Hanzo. The Zen.
We need to take another look at that after the game, because that was actually a beautiful rebound play by EOT. After losing Muga instantly, they somehow managed to kill all 5 members. Beautiful shot by Zenith. Pure skill by the way.
Great shot. And now Muga switched over to the ball. He's going to find a little bit of trouble against this May, but has already found kills. Ziffel finishing those up, closing them out. It's the Reinhardt and the Lucio left, but they're going to get cleaned up, and this is a lot of free push for U of T.
You can tell U of T are in their comfort zone right now. The energy levels are high. Ziffel is dominating. They're coming out with both DPS ultimates, and look at SNHU side. They have no ultimates coming up. Maybe the window during this fight or it's looking like another team match here.
Yeah, Confident has switched over to the D.Va, so not feeling confident in their ball comp against such a mobile tank that Muga's playing. They're taking the high ground here, trying to push Ziffel off this high ground, and they do manage to find him. Unfortunately, there wasn't any support with him over there, and now they're trying to push the ball away. U of T's attack is going to be saved off just for now while they wait for their DPS to come back.
Waiting to regroup now, U of T. Muga looking for an off angle because
yeah, it's going to be difficult though with Osiren on the Tracer trying to mark him this whole time. Pepta moves forward, uses the Deadeye. However, there's a tire coming after him, and he needs to deal with that. And so once again, quick with the shots. Uses that amplification matrix to go deadly, and they have pushed U of T back.
Pretty convincing win on SNHU's part. Just destroying the tire right away. Pepto just getting an instant pick. That was really well played by SNHU.
Yeah, other than that Riptire that Ziffel just used, the rest of U of T, they all got their ultimates up. However, they are playing into a sound barrier, into possibly a defensive D.Va ultimate. They use the Dragon Strike first, trying to clear this lane. Luca has gone in with the mines. Can that get any kills? No, Osiris uses his recall, so he's going to be forced to retreat. Now, Luca looping forward, trying to find this diva on the side. She's a little bit isolated right now. Can they get the kill? She decides to use the self-destruct. Is that going to find anyone? Before Transcendence forced out from Roast Chicken, trying to keep the rest of the team alive. However, Viso and Pepto are on that high ground doing so much damage. Zenith tries to shoot back, finds 2 kills, and now Muka has found Osiren as well. There's only 2 players left for SNHU.
At one point, I didn't really know what was going on and who was going to win. There's just so many ults being traded back and forth. Yuki using their whole arsenal of ults as well as SNHU. And of course, beautiful shots by Zen, of course, and closing out the fight. And we can see the Invader on the Mora bit. Very questionable, but given that his Mora is quite strong, he can do a lot.
Yeah, now, BT. Oh, Roast Chicken has already fallen to Zepto. That's a lot of damage out of the fight and a lot of healing as well. Medusa on the other side, same thing. Zepto finds another kill onto Ziffle. Again, such a loss of damage that the rest of UFT is going to be forced back. Console Noob on the Diva, trying to find another kill onto Zenith. Osiren hits the stick, and that he will send Zenith packing.
A great sticky right there, as UFT are trying to run for their lives. Buys them, buys SNHU like 8 to 10 seconds of spawn time. But UFT is going to be back quickly, and they're going to be back with their fire now. And as you can see, they switched up almost like half of their pump. They're running the Torment Zarya right now.
Yeah, Roast Chicken onto the Lucio as well. So I think this Torb is definitely trying to counter Osiren. Those turrets can be very annoying to a Tracer. However, it's not the turret that kills him, it's Ziffle finding a shot with that grenade. Now he's going to move forward, uses the Rift Tire. Is he going to find anyone? They're trying to hide, they're backing up already. This Tire, unfortunately, is not going to find its mark, but it doesn't even matter because the rest of SNHU has been pushed back so much.
Yeah, we call that a zoning barrier, forcing SNHU all the way back to spawn, just giving UFT the space there.
A win is a win, you know what they say. Muga standing here on the front line, really built up some of his energy here. However, it is also Muga on the high ground. That's the advantage of this Diva, is that she's going to be able to rain down shots from above, and Osiren has switched over to the Hanzo and finds a kill onto the Invader. However, Muga trades that back right away onto Pepto. And now, Diva falling so low. She is going to get demeched. The Thief comes in too late. Can they make any use of this? SNHU has kind of wasted their opportunity that they had with that sound barrier. And now Zenith has a Molten Core. Luca with the Graviton Surge finds the Lucio. He no longer has that defensive ultimate. And the Immortality Field just barely saves Osiren's life, but not for long. And UFT, they are rapidly approaching this final point. Console Noob on the Diva and Pepto on the Tracer, trying to stall this out just a little bit. They're at a disadvantage, but they're going to try to find some kills, as many as they can. Roast Chicken and onto Lucio is dueled out the enemy. Here we go. And now he's going to try to do his best to... Wow, Console Noob just barely manages to knock him off the point, and that's exactly what SNHU needed. It seemed at the last moment they snatched victory from the jaws of defeat and pushed back UFT.
They really did. I thought UFT was going to cap that for sure. I planned that.
Oh,
they could cap it on this run. That's a great pick.
That's a great pick, but they are going to have to try to contest Osiren on this high ground. Ziffle does manage to push him off, and he's very close to the next Rift Tire. He's getting zoned out a little bit by the Tracer, who just managed to come back. And the Nano goes on to also move on the Diva. He manages to find Luga, and he's looking for another kill. Lucio trying to get some revenge and knock her into the pit, but it's that tank passive does not take that much knockback. And now UFT is pushed back a little bit, but they don't know about Ziffle hiding in this corner. This upcoming Riptire could be crucial into getting the picks that they need to finish out this round.
And not only the Riptire, we have the Molten Lava coming up by Zenith. Oh, but he falls to Osiren. We also have the Grab coming up too.
4v5 and look at it. very impactful ult. Ziffle manages to touch, and now he's going to use that Riptide, trying to find the backline of SNHU. He takes to the skies, dodging and weaving. He's looking for Miso, but it's just out of range, doesn't find the kill. And now it's one trick onto Zenyatta, raining down orbs onto UFT. SNHU are going to manage to stop this just right at the end.
Just an unfortunate turn of events there. UFT was looking good going into that last fight, having grab pretty much, having both the Abyss ults, SNHU having nothing on the table.
Yeah.
But brilliant defense by SNHU. They held that together.
Yeah. It was a pick onto Zenith by, I think it was Osiren, that really opened that up, turned it into a 4v5 at the last minute. And UFT just did not have the offensive capability to finish out that fight. And a couple of fights before that, they had everything that they needed to finally push that payload through. And it was a stall by Console Noob. Manages to keep the point alive, knock off Roast Chicken on the Lucio, knock him completely off the map. And that really just started the ball rolling to hold that point. Great stuff.
Great stuff. And not to say that capping the second point almost at the very end isn't a good result. That's an alright result. It's definitely winnable. They pushed it most of the map. They have a lot of room to work with here. It all comes down to how good of a defensive team they are. We haven't actually seen them on defense yet. But it looks like they're running sort of the same comp we saw on that third point, save for the Kiriko and the Mora. Interesting heal comp. I guess playing to both of their strengths. It's more of a counter pick at this point, and seeing how their individual play can make impact as opposed to picking heroes just for the sake of meta.
This Kiriko might be a counter pick, but maybe they anticipated one trick on the Ana. Yeah, just using that Suzu completely negates the ability of her anti-heal. So maybe this is a good pick. Console Noob and Ruga are going to be dueling it out on his front line. However, Osiren on the flank gets the hack and almost managed to kill Ruga, and they do succeed. Hepto on the Sojourn finds the shot, and now it's 4v5 without their tank. How is UT going to defend this?
A bit of positional error by UFT side. Ruga just overextending, not saying it's his fault, he's just super far ahead of his whole team. His whole team is very held back on his response.
Yeah, so Zenith did find a kill, however Ziffle fell at the same time, and it's a longer walk for UFT to get back. However, SNHU, they haven't really made much of this opportunity that they had in the 5v4, so only now they're starting to take the point, and one trick falls to Zenith's Torbjorn turret. Console Noob is falling low, he's going to be forced to back off, gets beam mech as well. Visa finds a kill onto Ziffle, however without their tank in the mech, this is going to be really difficult for SNHU. Muga trying to do some parkour, doesn't manage to do it, needs to get Pepto and Biso off his high ground. Biso uses the Transcendence. There's a brawl going on inside this little room here. Muga is going to be pushing forward, a little bit isolated from his healers, and Muga falls, the healers are forced back, and once again we're in a 4v5 situation. Zenith finds a kill onto Torbjorn. Roast Chicken answers as well. Ziffle finds kills, and there's just trades on both sides. 2v2 left on this point. Ziffle here in Hotel does not have that Riptide. Maybe would be crucial to finding this kill. Pepto and Biso are going to be the ones taking the point as UFT is forced to retreat.
UFT can still contest. They have a lot of ults on them, especially the Consumer Rush.
Ruga goes in, however the EMP used, and that takes off so much health off of all the players on UFT. Pepto popping off, getting all these kills on the other side. The Riptide is only going to answer back with one. It's Ziffle and the Invader on the Warrior trying to hold on to this, but they're surrounded on all sides. Console Noob does lose his mech. However, Ziffle is slept and killed by Pepto, and the Invader follows next. Finally, it felt like that fight took so long, but SNHU Sapphire gets the kills that they need and takes the first point.
Good execution on SNHU's part, and like winning the side skirmishes in that small mega room there. That was key in happy to play.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. UFT managed to hold that for a while. It felt like they were always at a disadvantage, but they did hold. However, they are going to hold here at the choke, but Zenith falling, a large source of their damage is now gone. SNHU is going to take this opportunity to push forward a little bit. The D.Va ultimate used into this narrow street finds the invader as well. So now UFT really on the back foot. Muga does find a kill onto Osiren. And they are going to be pushing this even with only 3 people here. They're stuck in this little room, kind of a trap for SNHU. They can't push the payload past this if they're going to be stuck in here. And that's a huge grab, forces out the Transcendence. They did not want to use that so early in this fight, and now Constantine has to make up the difference. She's going to try to push forward a little bit. Her movement is so strong, nearly fully charged on the Zarya. Zenith trying to do a little bit of damage, but he falls to Pepto, and now Muga needs to make a play here, try to find a kill with this high charge. However, the Echo is doing so much damage. Osiren here almost falls, but just doesn't. And Pepto using that Kitsune rush finds 2 kills. However, Ziffle responds immediately. It's an all-out brawl here in the streets. Now Ziffle is going to use this Riptire. Who can he get? He finds Pepto, who was not able to use his Immortality Field in that fight. However, Console Noob is back inside of D.Va Mech, and the rest of UFT needs to help Ziffle if they're going to have any chance of defending this point.
Sapphire just somehow finding success in pushing into this meat grinder that is Ziffle Muga. And with the Diva's quite strong against Junkrat and Kree. However, struggles against Muga's high charge. And we can see Muga is completely melting Console Noob almost every fight.
Yeah, Pepto has so much space here on the sword point, and he has his ultimate ability, pushing the rest of UFT back. They do not want to stand in this guy's sight lines. However, he's not finding anything. The self-destruct is forced to use. However, Muga, anti falling low, is killed by Pepto, and Osiren gets another one onto Zenith. And 5v4 here on this point. Can UFT trade this back as they always do? Invader finds one, however Ziffle falls, and the Transcendence is really going to put this one to bed. Surely they can't bring this back. No, they can't. And that's SNHU Sapphire pushing this through. Second point.
Coming up on top there. Great plays by SNHU. Yes, Pepto especially has been popping off this whole attack.
Yeah, and a couple stacker kills gotten by SNHU is going to let them push this a little bit further. This might just be one fight territory.
It could definitely be. SNHU doesn't have the chance though, and we have the grab coming up on the side. Great pick by Ziffle. That's gonna be key.
Finds kills. That's such a big kill. Luda gets slept but is woken up immediately by the stick of grenades. And SNHU are going to wait this one out. They don't want to push this. They're one fight and they win. Remember, they have such an easy win conditions. Basically, they just got to complete the map. Okay, now Echo is back, and the Echo uses his ultimate, copies the Zarya. He can build a grab so fast here with this Echo copy. He pushes forward, uses that bubble. However, Muga, he knows that this Echo is dangerous, decides to use the Graviton, and it finds the D-Mech, finds the kill onto Osiren. And that was a great play by Muga, pushing SNHU back. Oh, Pepto. Trying to answer back a little bit. However, it's just one man versus the world.
Trying to get revenge for his fallen brother here.
Enemy here.
Coming up on this overclock actually. Beautiful pick by Biso. They could win this right here with that overclock.
Yeah, it's a great pick by Biso. That's a main source of damage for UFT. Falling, and now Pepto's taking this high ground. He's definitely going to be using this Odin drive as soon as he gets it, as soon as people come into view of his crosshair. Now, overclock used, finds one kill onto the invader, he's firing down shots into this Kitsune rush. However, Ziffle has the Riptire, see if he can find something with this. Going forward. He does manage to demech the D.Va. Okay, that is important, however, it's not a kill. Well, it is if you jump off. Console Dude decides to reset, and SNHU are going to retreat just for now.
That was a great defense by UFT. I'm not actually sure how UFT pulled that off. It was looking so in favor of SNHU.
Yeah, only 20 seconds left here. What was once a very easy win condition has now come to a last fight territory for SNHU. However, they do have a couple of ultimates here compared to only the Invader with the Nano Boost. However, Luka is getting very close to that Graviton Surge if he can farm a little bit off of Console Noob. Ziffle here on the high ground.
He gets a trade though.
Yep, you say a win is a win there. So Miso now has the Transcendence to counter this death on Surge, and it's totally negated. Console Noob has the Nano Boost trying to find a kill. However, Muga is isolated and discorded. That's the UFT's tank down. Console Noob now has free reign here. Ziffelheim looks like he's going to be trying to take the high ground, and Tactical Visor used by Zenith. That's great. 2 kills. That can really help Yuki stall this out. Ziffel just barely staying alive on the point. He does fall. And now Luca's back on the Doomfist. Falls low to the anti-aid. But, we know what we call that.
What?
You know what we call that.
C9. Oh, huh? I did not expect that to happen. Okay, it looked... On my screen, it looked like Console Noob was on the card. I'm not sure.
It's really close, but if the game says you're not on it, you're not on it.
That's true. You can't argue with Blizzard Entertainment.
Yep. Now, so some great shots from Ziffel, some long range. How does he hit those? Anyway, yeah, we call that the old Charlie Niner.
I mean, I did not expect that to end in a C9. I thought, actually, it was looking pretty even towards the end. Both teams picking up a number of kills on each other. As you can see, like the replay. Did I miss it?
This is an earlier fight actually. This was when I believe there's the self-destruct that managed to find a kill onto the invader, and now this is okay. This was a later fight. This was the graviton that was used by Muga. That was a great thing. As we go through the highlight reel, let's take a little trip down memory lane of some of the best plays of this map.
Oh, this is my favorite play. Roast Chicken, a fellow Lucio main, beating on the Kiriko, getting the kill, securing his team that pick, but unfortunately getting counter booped into the pit.
Yeah,
and
maybe he
suffering.
doesn't want to remember that.
Maybe he doesn't, but we'll make him remember that anyways.
We do
having
love
it
the
on this
bloodthirsty
replay.
sports. Yeah. I mean, you're right. SNHU, they looked like they were in such a great position to close out that map, but it was Zenith on the soldier. I didn't even realize he was behind them with the tactical visor, even that out and really set the stage for U of T to win that in an unconventional way, but nonetheless.
And as you can see on the instant replay, this is the part where this is the first fight where UFT loses the tank, but all of a sudden just picks up 5 there.
Yeah.
So next map being Escort, UFT does ban Havana, the infamous sniper map. Of course, I believe UFT's roster, they don't have sniper players, but we do go to Circuit, which is also another sniper map. We'll see how this plays out.
Circuit Royale, it's good for those long range heroes, I believe. So Mugon, the Sigma, is definitely going to be able to make an impact. Ziffel is going to be staying in the roster, which is, well, it's a decision. I admit. Circuit Royale does not have a lot of things.
There is. You're right in saying that there's. It's not really a Junkrat map. But there is one thing you can do on the first point. If you're on attack, you can go over that building, from the right of spawn doors on attack side, and you can actually get a few kills if you line up your shots well as Junkrat.
Yeah.
We'll see if he does that though.
You know, us in the Overwatch League community, we call that the illegal maneuver.
What was it? Florida Mayhem?
Florida Mayhem versus, what was it? Paris Eternal, I think? Yeah. Remember, kids, don't use exploits.
Yeah, don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
Exactly.
Entering into this map, Circle Royale looks a little bit different than I remember.
Yeah, it looks like it's sunny. I don't think I've seen the sun in real life in like a week or so. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely not used to this.
The sun is finally shining on Europe after 6 months. How long has this game been out? 6 years?
6 years? The game? 7 years maybe at this point.
Okay.
If you count maybe beta, if beta counts.
So, let's see what they are deciding to play. Zenith will be probably choosing that Widowmaker. Are they on? Yeah, they're on defense. Okay, I like this pick. He's going to be able to put so much pressure onto SNHU just by holding down these sight lines, denying the space. Vuga on the Sigma, and so is Console Noob. Those long-range heroes are really useful on this point.
This is gonna come down to how much work Zenith can do. Actually, he has to keep the Widow in check, and keep the Pharmacy in check, because they're gonna be a real threat. There's a lot of aerial cover here. Flank routes as the Pharah is thinking right now.
Pepco decides to go over to the Pharah, knows about the Junkrat shenanigans. That's the best thing you can do against it, I think. However, Ziffle's got to anticipate this. Now, the Widow duel has already been won by Zenith. That's a great shot. And now he's going to have free reign over the sight line to rain down shots onto SNHU. Ziffle does manage to take out Console Noob. Turns out that Pharah isn't really quite working to shut him down right away. Over Pepco, still raining down shots on this side. Almost falls, but is healed up by the nice Mercy pocket that all Pharah players enjoy.
Pepto actually taking a lot of pressure, maybe not now, but before by Widow, even Junkrat, Sigma. Muga falls though.
This was some great shot. Yeah, some great shots by Pepto, hitting the Sigma every single turn. Zenith manages to pick one onto Pepto, however that's very quickly rezzed up, and the rest of UFT has fallen. So you have to ask if they're even going to be able to contest this first point, because they're going to be on their way back, and it's already round in the corner.
And we're getting out of Junkrat territory here. Second point being quite open, but that's a nice pick. Rush checking this fall, gonna make it a bit hard to defend this, but
Pepto being dead, there's so much less presence onto the DPS of UFT. So, and the Mercy's already used that res, so it's not possible. And Luca is going to be taking some space here onto this point, almost kills Console Noob, but he does manage to get healed back up. And now SNHU, they have a little bit of tempo here. Biso finds Luca, and the rest of UFT is going to retreat here. That's a nice sleep dart from the Invader, however they're not going to be able to do much with it as they are forced back.
Zenith actually swapping off of the Widow and onto the Tracer. I'm surprised, as I thought he would stay to match the Widow. But it looks like they're doing
aerial positioning underway.
Some sort of comp swap, perhaps? And I don't think the Junkrat is finding enough value, or as much value as he would like. Too much pressure from the Widow and Pharah, and I don't think the Junkrat is cutting here, but maybe Ziffle just has to change his strategy or positioning or something to make this
No
work.
one can hide from my
Sights
sight.
used by Osiren, so they're going to have full view of everyone on UFT. And that's a great shot from Console Noob. And Pepto follows it up with the barrage. Ziffle does manage to get the kill. That might be the first time you see Junkrat kill a Pharah in midair, but that's still SNHU finding most of the kills in that fight. Ziffle now healing Console Noob here on the front line, waiting for the rest of his team to come back. He does have the Riptire here.
This has to be big. SNHU nearing the capture point.
Console Noob has used his own Sigma ultimate, doing a little bit better than Muga on the other side, who's now switched over to the Diva. Okay, so now they're contesting the point at the last second, but Pepto has found Zenith. It's less damage here, and Ziffle falls low. It's just Muga on this point has got to fend people off from every angle. Ziffle uses the Riptire, finds Console Noob. That's the tank presence gone. However, Osiren is still standing here in the back, completely uncontested, finds Roast Chicken, and Pepto is cleaning up the rest of the kills. And that is going to be SNHU eventually, surely at some point, finishing out this fight. What? The Invader finds a kill onto Biso from so far away, gets the great anti-nade, and Zenith is here. Cannot quite deny the res, and one trick revives Biso. Pepto finds Zenith, but the rest of UFT is back now. Roast Chicken has used the Amplification Matrix, keeping the rest of his team alive, and Ziffle is back on the Reaper. Okay, so he's not quite a one-trick after all. Roast Chicken trying to keep himself safe, but Osiren and Pepto, they're raining down shots from every angle.
Such a bloody team fight. I thought Sapphire was gonna close that out like a minute ago, but Yuffie just kept holding on. Tire coming in from Ziffle. Just good individual plays. Sleep on console noob and then shutting him down, forcing out the hands ability, and then taking him out quickly after. It was interesting because UFT couldn't get any pressure onto Sapphire's backline. Sapphire's backline just holding their ground. Their Widow, Osiren, just getting shot after shot on with no contest. And I think as a result of that, they were just able to secure that point, even though it was so bloody.
Finding a great shot on the Pepto. That's the Tracer down. So now Osiren is going to be a little bit vulnerable now that Muga switched over to the Winston. Is going to be denying these high grounds, denying the sight lines. Osiren falls so low, but he's just going to be managed to heal back up. And now Pepto in with the Pulse Bomb, doesn't manage to connect it, and Ziffle takes him out. However, Osiren has found Muga, and that's the tank presence down. Gone. Biso somehow manages to kill the Zenyatta, and SNHU has already pushed this cart so far, already around the corner, and Ziffle gets the nano boost. He's going to be so strong here, manages to kill the enemy Sigma, and now Muga's finally back as well, and they're going to be able to stave off SNHU at the last second.
A very nice nano play on Ziffle there. So much pressure that Sapphire just doesn't have the tools to shut that down.
Siren somehow manages to find a miraculous headshot, but he does fall as well. Now SNHU, they are coming back here. They've got the Sigma ultimate. Didn't quite get a ton of value the last time they used this, but they aren't even going to need it as console noob and one trick just using their long range damage to find some kills. Now, Luga discorded, already taking so much damage and gets the pulse bomb to the face. However, he's not going to die. Roast Chicken is caught, as well as Ziffle in this Sigma ultimate. However, Ziffle managed to come back, and he's got the Death Blossom. Uses it, and he finds two already, Cassidy and Ana down. However, he's going to need more than that. And one trick gets 2 kills, uses the Transcendence, and that means Zenith's Dragon Blade is completely useless here. Somehow he's still alive, managing to hold this point all by himself. Meanwhile, the Invader is back on the Lucio, and so is Muga. Now he's got the Primal Rage, batting people away, pushes that Sigma into the corner. He is going to fall. Any second now, surely. No. Surely. Okay, that's what we thought. However, Muga is dead as well, and so is Zenith. But the spawn advantages is too strong for UFT. So they do hold this back just a little bit, and now it's 45 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds on the clock. One more fight left. And we're in neutral territory for both teams. No ultimates coming up, aside from the Tracer Pulse. But other than that, it's looking like a pure, raw, mechanical, no ults team fight here, which could prove to be very interesting.
SNHU, they've got their DPS up here on the flank, and the rest of the team is rotating to meet them. This is going to be a fight on the high ground. Pepto has spotted the backline, however, decides not to engage, and she is going to be pushing the point instead. UFT, they've got to send someone down here, and they decide to all drop down. Okay, so now they're going to be fighting on the low ground, and Roast Chicken has found Pepto. That's 1 kill. However, Muga decides to go back up and challenge the rest of his team, but it's the entirety of Sapphire up here on the high ground. Osiren uses that Cassidy ultimate. High Noon does not find a kill. Biso manages to finish off Roast Chicken. However, Osiren falls to Muga, and one trick and console, then they find kills on the other side. It's looking like a clear advantage for Sapphire, and Pepto and Biso clean that up. And just at the last second, SNHU Sapphire finished the point.
A good clutch by Sapphire there, having the positional advantage on the high ground, whereas UFT are just all on the floor pretty much, around the carts, pretty much at SNHU's mercy. Though they did get a few picks onto Sapphire, just the positional advantage with the High Noon, the Sigma being able to rain down like his balls on top of UFT, like without any contention. There was just too much force, and UFT succumbed to that.
My favorite part of that fight is when Sigma said Sigma balls, and then Sigma'd all over them. So I really credit that to Pepto on the Tracer. He decided to go down to the point and force the issue on that payload and force U of T, all of them to drop down, and then they had the positional disadvantage, the high noon and the Sigma on the high ground. They were basically had free reign until even when Muga went up to challenge them. So now, SNHU, they've completed the map. U of T needs to at least do the same. This is going to be an uphill battle.
It's definitely going to be an uphill battle. There is one thing that could cheat them the first point. There's a Junkrat rollout on the right side of the map, as Ziffle is looking like he's preparing for. He double mines over the top of the roof and pretty much looks for a one shot. Let's see if he's going for it. Looks like he is going for it, probably that first mine there.
He's gonna do a triple mine jump. Let's see if SNHU expects this. He's over the top, finds one grenade onto Pepto, however he is gonna fall. Okay, it was a risky maneuver, but does not make it work this time. And now U of T, they're just gonna be poking here at this corner. Zenith and Osiren trading shots, see who can find the first pick. Zenith goes up and he manages to find it. A great shot from him. And now he's looking for the enemy Hanzo as well. Ooh, the flick almost catches him, but he goes behind the building, and now Ziffle kind of has free reign from here on the low ground. They find Pepto as well, and U of T is pushing this forward.
Zenith is out for blood. He wants revenge for what happened to...
Yeah, definitely. However, now Osiren is back, and he has such a good position with this high ground defensively from second point. U of T is pushing the cart around the corner. It's just console nuke here on this low ground, putting a lot of presence onto the point, and Osiren has found the first kill. That's the Widow duel 1 for SNHU, and Ziffle has fallen so low. Osiren finds another kill, console nuke, gets the tank diff, and U of T is pushed back.
Yeah, Sapphire cleaning that up quite nicely, but keep in mind, U of T did push it almost to the end there in the first fight, so good progress, and we still have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, Ziffle, I'm surprised he wasn't killed on this high ground. I guess he's just playing that angle so well, and the rest of his team is now back. Now, Zenith, can he find a good position to get another kill here? Osiren is forced back just a little bit. However, Muga and Console both have their own super ultimates, and was that a rock that interrupted it? Okay, now Muga, it's time to use his own, and he... Oh no, it's the Zenyatta ultimate on the other side. Ziffle finds Console Noob with the trap of all things. Osiren finds a kill, but he immediately dies. And now it's 3v4. Zenith has the infrared sights as well. So now he's going to be clicking on heads on the other side. 1 and 2, and he's going for more. Oh,
almost gets the third.
That would have been a clip for sure.
That would have been. I would like to see the Sigma ult from Console Noob again. I wasn't exactly sure if he was rocked or if he just missed, because I didn't see the CC animation on his screen when after he ulted, so I have a feeling he might have missed that, but we'll have to take a look at that again later.
Did. You might be right. Now it's just going to be the Invader, I believe, sitting on the point while the rest of his team pushes forward. Ziffle has taken the aggressive angle, but he decides to retreat. He's still raining down shots on the other side. However, Riptire is online. How is he going to use this? Okay, now, the Osiren has used the Widowmaker ultimate, and he finds the Invader. That's a big source of healing down, and now Osiren is still going to be taking pot shots on the other side, finds Ziffle as well, and U of T does such low health without their Ana. Osiren just getting kill after kill after kill.
There's just too much pressure on the front line. There's too much pressure onto U of T that Zenith can't really pinpoint Osiren, and Osiren just has all the space in the world to work with, getting pick after pick, kill after kill.
Oh, I've never seen this angle before. That's cheeky. Okay, so now SNHU Sapphire, they're actually pushing this so far forward back to first point. They really want to stop U of T in their tracks and force them into Osiren's sightline. Oh, that's some great tech. It's Pepto's sonar arrow that lets Osiren know where everyone on U of T is, looking through just the tiniest crack in the floor, trying to find a head. So now U of T, they are going to path through this little tunnel and try to come up behind the rest of SNHU Sapphire. Ziffle uses the Riptire, dodging and weaving, trying to avoid the shot from Osiren. Console uses the Sigma ultimate, but he doesn't manage to find it. However, Osiren has killed the Riptire, so that's not going to be useful for Ziffle. He's just trying to see what he can do, getting those rebound shots onto the enemy Widowmaker. Pepto has found one shot onto Zenith, and Hanzo has such an advantage in that close range fight against the Widowmaker. However, he's going to need to try to find the Invader as well. The amplification matrix used by One Trick, and just to secure this, clean this up, and UFT is being pushed back so far right now. They cannot find an entrance into this fight. However, that's an entrance. Okay, Muga has the Nano Boost now and doing so much damage to Console Noob. However, Zenith falls to the Pepto's... it was a nice headshot there. Okay, so now Pepto is so low on this Hanzo and Muga finds the kill. Biso trades it back, Muga's down, and now Osiren has a infrared sights. The rest of UFT just hiding behind this point, trying not to let themselves do their best JFK cause, but Ziffle goes in for the nade, and he does manage to find Osiren. However, the supports on SNHU, they are trading the kills back. And now UFT forced to retreat once again. They've only got less than a minute left on the clock.
And with Muga falling, I think UFT should have gotten out of there quickly. Should have called the rotate as soon as they got picked. Oh, nice shot by Pepto, by the way. It seems that Sapphire are much faster on their rotates, whereas UFT struggle, and maybe there's not a clear sense of comms, but they seem to be a lot slower on their rotates throughout this match.
Yeah. DPS traded 1-for-1. So now UFT is going for what's probably going to be their last fight. They get an anti-nade onto Console Noob. However, they don't manage to find the kill. Luca goes forward, uses that Sigma ultimate, and almost kills Console Noob, but the Transcendents are exchanged on both sides. Once again, an anti-heal goes onto the Red Sigma, and they're just trying to kill him so bad. Ziffle finds a kill onto Osiren and Roast Chicken onto Console Noob. So finally, after so long, UFT are going to manage to close out the second point.
And they close out just in time. Overtime, I wasn't sure if they were going to make it earlier in that fight, but they pulled through. And they have the Nano Blade for next fight. Setting up with that combo could actually win them the game. And all they need to worry about is Flux if they're keeping that track. They don't have Trance, there's a sleep, but it really should be a free Nano Blade here.
Yeah. So now SNHU, they're going to be setting up on this near high ground. However, if that means that they're not going to be contesting the point, if they let this roll far enough, they might be in one-fight territory. Pepto has found one kill onto the Invader, however he is slept. Though they don't manage to find the kill. That's so big for SNHU. They've basically gotten a free stall here. Pushed. Oh, okay. How did that happen? Zenith decides to get a little bit greedy and moves forward trying to get the kill on the Ana that he just deflected. Okay, now it's Console Noob pushing forward with the Davidic Flux. Tries to find the kill onto Muga, however Ziffle uses the Death Blossom and the Nano Blade is going to go onto him, not the Reaper. Teleports up top, can't he find the supports that have been hiding up here. Gets the Zenyatta, and now he's going to get the Ana too. So it's UFT having a great fight there, and they are rapidly approaching this yellow box of victory.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Sapphire just have to try their best to somehow make this work. Roast Chicken having the Trance, which could keep them in the game here.
Joe is so close to a pulse bomb. He really wants to find one of these supports, and he forces out the Transcendence of Roast Chicken. So now he's going to be throwing in that pulse bomb, or he sticks the tank and finishes off the kill. Console Noob also kills Roast Chicken on the other side, and nobody on UFT is close to the point. And at the last moment, SNHU Sapphire hold on.
A good clutch by Sapphire. Just holding on at that last minute. And here we can see what I'm assuming the Nano Blossom here. There it is.
He's right at the end here. I love this push here up onto the high ground. He knows that he's strong enough that he's not going to get bursted down instantly, and he's does enough damage with that Nano Boost to clean up the rest of those kills.
Definitely, just
However,
knowing your limits here is super key.
However, it's not good enough to secure them the map, as SNHU is now up 2-1 in this series.
They are, but it's still definitely winnable for UFT. Something I've noticed is UFT seem to be a lot slower and hesitant on their engages. SNHU often being the aggressors, often taking the initial fights, the engagements, finding the picks. I'd like to see UFT even rotating faster, making those early calls, early engagements, being more decisive with how they're going to play that fight or the upcoming fights. Oh, beautiful rock, by the way. Canceling
Yeah.
Muga's flux.
This was a great play by SNHU. The barrage on top of that as well. All right, let's see some other plays. Oh, this was when the Reaper got the nano boost and he decided to just basically push back the entirety of SNHU by himself. And when Muga came back after being picked early from the fight, it was a good cleanup by U of T.
Yeah, actually, UFT seemed to be favoring the Nano Reaper over the Nano Blade, and without, honestly, without good reason. As you may know, like Genji's not in the best spot right now, and Blade can often be unreliable, due to its like, well, how easily shut down it could be.
Yeah. So, who was it on U of T that was playing the Genji?
The
Was it
Genji,
Ziffel?
it was Zenith.
was
Ziffel
Zenith.
swapped from Junk to the Reaper.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and next map we're gonna take it to Esperanza. I have no idea where that is. Probably in like Spain or something. Can I get a confirmation? What do you know where it is, Ender?
I think this is in Portugal.
Oh yeah, it's in Portugal. Right. It's like the same thing, pretty much. Anyways, we're gonna take it to this map. It could be a brawl map, it could be a ball map, it could be a monkey map. There's a lot of flexibility and a lot of different comps that have been run by teams in recent times.
Yeah. There we go. Portugal. What did I say? Yeah, so this is the last two games that I've casted were both 3-0. So this is actually going to be the first push map that I'm seeing. So this is going to be really interesting.
Definitely is, and push. A map that's often decided by the first two fights. The team that gets the lead. Huge advantage. Often turns out on top in the games. And of course, push. Though it's an interesting game mode, fun to watch, high action, not a fan favorite from players on teams and players in comp, players in general. Unfortunately, not the most fun game mode to experience as a player.
I disagree. I actually really like push. I think
you've taken as many lives as you've saved.
I mean, now that 2 CP is a thing, I guess something has to be at the bottom of the totem pole. But I think push is really dynamic to see the bot just keep going back and forth. It might not be the most balanced game mode. I'm sure people have complained, but I think it's fun nonetheless.
It's definitely fun as a observer and a caster, just watching the action-packed, like, yeah, as you said, the dynamic aspect of this map. And let's take our attention to the comps right now. We have Morva coming out once again from the Invader. They seem to be running some sort of a Ramatra brawl, but splashing in their own personality.
Yeah, Ramatra's really cool. We see the newest addition to the Overwatch roster. He's a long-range tank, got that laser or whatever it is, beam down players on the other team. Okay, Pepto is now taking the opposite high ground and has found his way behind the rest of UFT, trying to get a pick onto Invader. The rest of his team is on the point here. Luca by himself, trying to contest this. However, it's Ziffel who manages to find the kills. One on both support, and then he's going to be cleaning up the rest of SNHU.
And there's just so much pressure by Muga and the rest of UFT. They forced out the lamp in the first 10 seconds, and after that, the Savage just immediately tunneled under UFT's pressure. So well played by them. A Tracer tried to create some pressure in the backline, kind of tickling the DPS of UFT, but she didn't draw enough attention, didn't create as much pressure as she'd liked, and UFT just win the head-on battle. And I think we'll see more of that in this next fight.
Okay, so they've done enough damage to Ana that the Moira is forced to drop, so now SNHU does have a high ground advantage onto this point. However, UFT, they're going to force the issue and try to push it into this building. However, Console Noob takes so much damage as he tries to entry, and he gets DMEC. Now Ziffle is kind of free here without the enemy Diva's defense matrix in his face to get a couple of kills. Now Pepto manages to get one onto Zenith, and that's both DPS from UFT falling. However, they have gotten the first couple of kills in this fight, and they are still pushing the bot. That was one trick, raining down orbs from the other side. They do manage to clean up, and now for the first time SNHU is going to be pushing this bot.
I don't actually know how that happened. Console Noob just started off with an ambitious play, face checking 5 members of UFT, instantly falls. The lamp of the So was used. I thought UFT was going to clean that, but somehow, with no ults used, aside from the pulse, Sapphire just cleaned that up in a very convincing fashion.
Speaking of ults, we've got so many on both sides. Roast Chicken finds a great sleep onto the enemy Tracer, and Pepto is going to be killed. However, the Tactical Visor is going to be used by Osiren. See if he can find any targets. Luca is going to be on the opposite side of that amplification matrix, and that's such a powerful ultimate combination. See, Zenith is scared to even challenge it. However, it's another great sleep by Roast Chicken. See if he can find some kills. Banana Boost goes on to Ziffle, and he's already forced the Immortality field. Now he's trying to get Diva on the other side, forced to use her self-destruct. Meanwhile, the Invader has found 2 kills off of that. Now Console Noob finds 1 kill with the self-destruct, and Peppo cleans off the Invader. That's both supports down for UFT. However, Zenith is still here, trying to find Pepto's head. Does not get the stick. Well, it does, but it's recalled. And Ziffle is still present here in this fight. Luga as well. See if they can try to contest the point, but instead decides to retreat. Is holding on to that Death Blossom still. Pulse Bomb used by Pepto. However, he gets slept again. Wow, oh my god. Roast Chicken is going crazy with these sleep darts, and now they have the advantage in the fight once again. Ziffle's teleporting up to the high ground. He's going to be looking for an angle to use this Death Blossom, surely. He finds one, and now he's an opportune moment to use it, and the trance comes out too late.
Beautiful play by Ziffle, showing that he's not just a Junkrat one trick. He's actually a very versatile player. By versatile, I mean a hero not other than a Junkrat. And not to undermine Roast Chicken's amazing performance so far. His sleeps have been on point. Sleeping Tracer, a soldier, Tracer again actually in that most recent fight. Just landing key targets and just getting his team free picks.
Yeah, Roast Chicken looking like the MVP so far of this map. Now, SNHU, they're going to be looking to come back in. However, the bot is very close to that checkpoint, and they're not even going to be able to contest it. Diva here on this high ground. See if they can try to stage a dive onto this backline. Pepto going in. Okay, Diva's present, so is Tracer, so is Soldier, but they managed to find some kills onto the backline. That was such a great dive from UFT. However, they are still, from SNHU, I should say, however, UFT is still pushing the point as SNHU manages to clean up the rest of these kills.
Yeah, Sapphire just finally capitalizing on the combos on their team. The Diva dive combined with the Tracer onto this immobile Ana. The Diva can just pretty much shut down everything Ana does, and it's pretty much a free pick. They finally capitalized on that diving Roast Chicken, and I'm surprised that they didn't try that before, and now they've tried it paid off. But here comes the engage.
Yeah, it's this combo once again, the Tactical Visor with the Amplification Matrix. However, UFT is wise to it, and they'd all decide to hide here. Pepto goes in with the Pulse Bomb and finds 2.
Maybe it was a zoning ult, forcing everyone from UFT's side into the underground catacombs and landing a pulse. But UFT's turning around.
Yeah, Luga uses that. I believe that's the first Ramatra ultimate that we've seen so far, and it's just so powerful. He takes all the space and drains the life force from SNHU, cleans that up.
Hello there.
Yeah, perhaps a bit extra. It looked like UFT was gonna win there, but regardless, UFT are in the ults economy advantage, having Visor coming up, Blossom coming up, Nano already up. We'll see how they use this in this fight.
Both Ziffle and Pepto are on respective flanks. However, Pepto is so far in the back line of UFT. He's even going to be playing a part in this fight. Console Noob falls so low, just barely saved by the Immortality field. However, he keeps taking damage here on his front line. And Ramatra using the Nemesis form. Ziffle is so close to his ultimate. Okay, has to back out. However, he's got this now. Let's see how he decides to use it. He's going to moving into the back line. Ziffel holding onto that ultimate. He's back in. Now he decides to use it, but one trick on the other side finally presses Q fast enough. The Transcendence coming in. However, Ziffel still got the nano, still doing damage. Kills Osiren. Zenith uses the Tactical Visor and finds one trick as well. He does fall, but it's the rest of UFT finding the rest of these kills.
Yeah, I was gonna say that UFT aren't making enough use of the off angles that Reaper can take. But as I was thinking that, Ziffel comes in from behind with the Blossom, gets the nano, almost picks off one trick, but one trick is able to react in time and pop the defense, just as
yeah, Ziffel taking the high ground, however, cannot fight that Reaper as he decides to shoot forward. Now Luga has got his own Nemesis form and uses the ultimate. Okay, however, it takes so much damage with the Reaper plus the amplification matrix, really just melting that tank even through his ultimate. So SNHU, they are going to be clawing back the spot and pushing it forward. However, they have such a lead to try to make back.
And Sapphire, SNHU, finally making the swap here to their Brawl comp, their favorite for the first map, and a bit of King's Row, if I remember correctly. But this seems to be their comfort zone, and on paper, it's definitely superior than UFT's comp in many ways.
Where did that happen? Pepco uses the ultimate on the other side of the map and finds one kill, however he gets traded out immediately, and now UT, they're on the Alyssa. This is so good against the Reinhardt now, because you can really just control that space. The immortality field has already been forced out, and now Ziffelheimer is using the ultimate Death Blossom. Thompson noob tries to pin him, manages to get that, but it's not enough damage, and Ziffel manages to find the next 2 kills as well. So UFT once again in control at this point.
Once again in control, and they have a huge lead over Sapphire. Sapphire only pushing at like half the distance UFT is pushing, and there's only a minute left, so they're gonna need to win fight after fight if they're gonna have any chance of staying in this.
However, Thompson has already gotten that Reinhardt Earth Shatter. He's going to be pushing forward, trying to look at the backline of UFT. Now he's going to be separated a little bit. The Earth Shatter does not get anything for him. Meanwhile, Zenith is in the backline using the Tactical Visor. He's found 2. And walls in chat.
Moving along now.
Yeah, little BM coming up in chat there. I didn't actually catch who was it, but I imagine it is Ziffel typing the LOL, as he has in past matches.
Okay, so now, Osiren, this is going to be a crucial ultimate for Blizzard to control the space here on this point. Roast Chicken playing so far back, has the nano boost if he, just in case he needs to save someone. The Blizzard comes out, however, nobody's caught in it, and UFT are picking up the kills in this fight. Now, Luga has fallen so low without Roast Chicken, the main source of healing on his team. Ziffel is back to the trusty Junkrat. He's raining shots from above, trying to get these kills. However, Yuso and Pepper trade them back, killing the Orisa and Junkrat. It's just Zenith left on this point. He finds 1 kill, and now it's him versus Lucio. 1v1. Lucio decides to retreat, however, there's nobody on the point. He's getting forced to retreat by this Tracer, Osiren. Moving forward, however, was that a sleep dart? Roast Chicken finds Osiren. And now SNHU, they have to stay here on this point. Rugen makes the decision to solo ult, and so does the enemy Lucio. It's everyone brawling it out, trying to take control of this point because we are in overtime. Whoever has control of this point is going to be winning the game. Well, if it is UFT, I should say.
But right now, UFT just needs to chill, regroup. Just take it slow because they only need to win 1 fight. That's it in order to win the entire map. They don't need to be fighting the hard fights. They just need 1 clean one. That's it.
The Invader uses that Coalescence and it's so much damage and so much healing at the same time that they pull this back from SNHU and they clean up that fight. And now we're even at 2 maps apiece. We are going to a tiebreaker.
What an intense game. Actually, Push really living up to what you were saying. That was a really intense match. Just so much chaos, variability, individual playmaking from both teams actually. Turning out to be a very exciting match.
Yeah. Nice shots from one trick here. However, wasn't enough to bring his team to a victory on that map. So we are going to be going to another control map for the tiebreaker. And it was so one-sided, that first one. So has U of T learned from their experience on the last 3 maps, their victories on 2 of them, to make this one a little bit different?
I think they have. It clearly shows by how they play now. They're playing more confidence. Energy levels seem to be high. They're making individual plays, whereas Sapphire, it looks like they're kind of crumbling. This is not the form that we saw in Map 1, Ilios. This seems like another team, another Sapphire. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think UFT might be favored here in this last one.
Yeah. So all of you listening in chat, remember to type "I love Ziffle," and we can't guarantee, but you might have a chance of winning a $100 gift card.
Exactly, yeah. Everyone needs to type that right now, and it's free to enter in this giveaway. You just need to type in like 3 words. It's objective. I mean, why would you not love Ziffle? I don't know. It's a win-win situation. You get to express your thoughts, which are factual, and you get to win potentially a $100 gift card. Do it right now.
I'm being told by production that we are not supposed to lie. Okay, so I take that back.
We're not supposed to lie,
are.
however. Ziffle, the part about Ziffle was factual, and that is not a lie. So you can type that if you wish.
So, actually, speaking of players that we want to honor, it's not just the DPS that are popping off. It's both Ziffle and Zenith getting some very crucial kills, but it's really everyone on UFT, particularly Roast Chicken was landing some great sleep darts in that map.
Yeah, Roast Chicken landed too many sleep darts, too many key sleep darts that I can't even remember anymore. Just sleeping Tracer, sleeping Pepto multiple times, 3 or 4 times, sleeping the other DPS, sleeping tanks and key moments. I don't know. There's just too many sleeps. At this point, I think Sapphire falling asleep. They're not. I don't know. They didn't seem in it towards the end of that push game. It sounds like it kind of seems like they're about to go to bed here.
Okay, so Lijiang Tower is going to be the last map in this series. This is a map that has a lot of variability in compositions as well, because you can go to that control center where it's those tight spaces, the ball really shines there. Junkrat in particular is amazing on that point. So we might see that from U of T if that's the map that we go to. However, Garden and Night Market to an extent, those are some very open maps. We might see some long range poke, we might see some dive. It's going to be really interesting to see what these two teams, because they've shown so much over the course of this series, right?
They definitely have. And Garden, as you mentioned, being the open map that it is, prone to a lot of environmental kills as well. And Roast Chicken being the Lucio main that he is, it could be his playground. This could be yet another Roast Chicken map. Not on the Ana this time. If he decides to go Lucio, he could wreak havoc on Gardens, which is the map we seem to be going to today.
Yeah. So it's going to be Gardens first. Roast Chicken, like you said, popping off on that Lucio, popping off on every support hero. And that is what he is going to play. Okay, so you've got Lucios on both sides, the Invader going back to that trusty Moira. Symmetra's on both sides as well, however, we don't know yet if that's going to be teleporting out of spawn, getting a little bit of speed advantage right at the beginning. Console noob on the ball, the noob on the Winston. It seems like both these teams have opted for dive comp, so it's a little bit different from one another.
Though different, both will try to accomplish the same goal: collapse on a target, find the target, collapse on a target, try to eliminate them as fast as possible. It looks like both teams are swapping off of the sim and just heading on to a more traditional dive here.
Ziffle is teleported onto the point, patches out Console noob very early on that fight, forces him to stay back, and now Sapphire is kind of separated one from another. They've got their frontline through on point, and the rest of the team is back there. And Zenith goes in for the dive, and so does the rest of his team. Ziffle finds a kill, Zenith finds one as well. Roast Chicken gets the Zenyatta, and now other than the ball, he's helpless to watching the rest of his teammates die. This is going to be a point win for U of T.
This is not the UFT we saw earlier on Circuit Royale, this is a new UFT. So aggressive, so sure on how they want to take the fight. Muga taking space for his team, and his team just following up, getting the kills, diving in the right targets, and actually forcing Sapphire to switch onto the Brawl Cup here.
Yeah, so Sapphire tries to challenge that bridge, decides not to against the Lucio and everyone else on that team. They go into White Room. So now Mei closing off one angle. However, they are going to need a lot of point presence here. However, the Reinhardt does give them that advantage. Zenith has gone in. Ziffel in the backline also trying to get some kills. Roast Chicken takes out the Immortality field. However, constantly finds some first kill onto Muda, and Ziffel falls as well. The Invader gets one back. Zenith also. But Consul moves here, swinging on the point, left and right. Again, the Dragon Blade is ambitious, however, Consul move is so low, this might be a good play after all. Now he finds the kill onto the Reinhardt. It's just the Lucio left, 1v1, and now Muga's back on the Wrecking Ball. And UFT have held onto this fight. What a clutch from Zenith.
It's an amazing play by Zenith and the rest of his team. UFT taking advantage of off angles. Zenith coming from the side, splitting Sapphire's attention to the left, to the right, just collapsing on them, really just throwing them off guard and essentially cleaning up the fight.
Sapphire back in, reducing the sound barrier. However, the shatter is huge. Finds one kill onto Zenith. Roast Chicken falls as well. The Invader has a coalescence, but it's not going to be able to do much. And Ziffel, Death Blossom interrupted. A nice charge. No shot.
No shot, he says. Honestly, that just came down to lucky timing, because I don't think Console Noob actually saw Ziffel on his screen. He just kind of charged and Ziffel got boots, I think, by one trick. Just straight into the hands of Console Noob.
Skill issue. That's all I say. Now, Ziffel and Zenith, they've switched heroes a little bit, getting the ground Junkrat and the sky Junkrat here. This Pharah is going to be very helpful against the rest of this team because they're not going to have a lot. However, the Mei ultimate used, they're finding so many kills off of that, it's so powerful in that little room. The Invader and Muga fall, however, it's the Pharah. Mercy still on this point. Mercy can't escape, and Pepto finds that kill. They managed to hold on just for a little bit longer, SNHU.
And the way that fight turned out, Sapphire just knew the win condition, sped on the map, was able to kill him instantly, and then making Muga fall right after with no support. But even though that might look like a Sapphire dominated situation, UFT could take that around and just trade backlines with the Pharmacy, because the Sapphire don't have an actual Pharmacy.
Pepto uses that Death Blossom, finds Zenith in the air. Mercy has no one to fly to, falls him down to the ground, and that is UFT. They're just trying to get a little bit of damage done here. However, we can't find a kill, and now this is one fight territory. And the thing about fighting a Pharah Mercy is that if they've got 2 players in the sky, they've only got 3 on the ground. And SNHU, they're really taking that to their advantage, rushing into these fights.
And definitely, and speaking of answers for Pharmacy, Crypto just getting a Blossom, killing the Pharmacy just like that.
Yeah, Pharah's so good at holding the point, not quite as good as coming back. However, Zenith can now switch to the Echo, see if they can do a little bit more damage here. Ziffel on the Junkrat, he now has the Reptire. However, Pepto has found Muga. That's a tank down, and can they touch the point? Okay, they can. Ziffel only finds one, just the Mei with that Reptire. However, Muga is brought back. The thing is, SNHU, they have the advantage in this fight, despite all the kills that have been traded. Muga only gets one with the Terra Surge, and SNHU hold on to the point.
It's an unbelievably close match. I thought UFT was gonna come out on top at the end, but you know, Sapphire showing their confidence on this brawl comp, going back to their comfort zone. Maybe that's just what they needed.
And here's that play from the Reinhardt. Gets 1 kill with the Shatter onto the Genji, moves forward, and it's this pin around the corner.
Oh,
Combo with the boot from one trick.
You could say it's just a synergy diff, or that was all planned by Sapphire. The boop into the pin. That could have been fun. We would never know.
Yeah, definitely. It was a set play. You know, they practiced that. Junkrats on both sides here. Osiren finally taking the duel to the Master.
That's a good way of putting it, actually. But the Sim could prove to be quite strong and could turn the tide of this game. Sim allowing for quicker rotates, quicker engages, and better defensive defense. And Ziffo does fall.
SNHU, they realize the advantage they have here against Muga on the Doomfist, opting for that instead of the Reinhardt. The thing is, SNHU, they have so much more of a point presence, and as long as they just force the issue to UFT, they just have a better brawl here.
Yeah, Sapphire just has a better brawl. They showed it. UFT does not have speed. They cannot rotate fast. Roast Chicken is a sitting duck. And Sapphire knows it. They sped onto him. Sped onto Ziffle. Ziffle fell. Roast Chicken fell. And that was it. And Invader somehow gets picked off. I think UFT needs to switch up their comp ASAP because this brawl from Sapphire is just too much to handle.
Yeah. We've got to find an answer here. Maybe it's going back to the Lucio, taking the tempo to them, matching it. However, Zenith doesn't get the heals that he needs and he falls. Osiren showing off some of his some junk tech on his own. And I don't know if the Doomfist is the right pick here. Sure, you can get some disruptions onto the Reinhardt, but you just have so much less point presence. They decide to go around to the other side, try to make this fight a little bit different.
For sure. As you cannot take the head-on engagement versus this brawl team. You have to take some off angles. You need to have Zenith coming from the back. Maybe even Ziffle and the Invader coming from the back. You cannot take the head-on fight because you will not win against the brawl of Sapphire.
Those are some nice decisions by SNHU's DPS, using that Symmetra barrier, completely split off all of UFT Silver, and then Osiren reining them in, gets the trap. However, it's now Console who decides to push forward, force the issue onto UFT. They've got such a lead in the point presence that they can afford to do this, and the Shatter finds one. The rest of his team cleans up a couple more kills, and one fight is left. UFT has got to win this, or else all their hard work is gone.
Exactly, it's imperative that they win this. And Muga swapping yet again to the third tank here on the ball, hoping to contest and get an off angle. And Ziffle actually looking for an off angle tire. This could be huge.
I think it's the teleporter pad, and Osiren's tire is so much better. It's a junk if. Roast Chicken finds one kill, gets the nano off just barely before falling himself, but this is 2 versus 5 on the point, or 2 versus 4 I should say. Muga trying to make the best of this nano boost, gets the immortality field and gets a slam. However, he is pinned off the point. The Invader can't make it, and it was looking winnable for UFT, but I don't know, Sapphire, SNHU showing why they won that first control point and why they won the second.
Exactly. SNHU just going back to the old reliable, the good old standard brawl. It's proven that it works, especially on Legion Control Center, and they just proved why it works. UFT, I'm guessing brawl is not their best comp, so they tried their best to play to their individual strengths, picking the Reaper, picking the ball, the Moira, trying to make the most of their individual skill, but unfortunately, it was just not enough to defeat the brawl of Sapphire.
Yeah, it felt like that map, they got such an early advantage, but that advantage just slipped through their fingers. Couldn't manage to get back. Didn't even get a point on the second one. Unfortunate for our guys, but GG's exchanged in chat. It's a good game for everyone involved. That's all.
It's a good series. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did. Some very intense matches. I thought it was going to be perhaps a closer, I mean, not closer, but more of a stomp, but both teams really brought their fight today.
Big respect to both teams. UFT, they were the underdogs in the series, lower in the group, really brought the fight to SNHU. Unfortunately, don't manage to finish it out. But c'est la vie.
That's right. And if you're still around, don't forget to join the UFT Overwatch's Discord. You can find the link in the description or in the About tab of this Twitch channel, I believe.
Yeah, and make sure you follow us on Twitter as well.
Yep, that's also in the About tab. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, YouTube as well. Yeah, join our Discord. Follow my Twitch channel. Subscribe to Ender's OnlyFans.
Can we say that on broadcast? I don't think you can say that on broadcast. I'd
Say
be,
what? Oh, and let's. Oh yeah, join the Discord. Join the UFT Overwatch Discord. It's a fun community. I'll see you there.
all right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.